Carlos Sainz's choice to sign with Williams F1 has caused serious ripples across the racing world. At first glance, it might seem puzzling, a top-tier driver joining a team that has often lagged near the back of the field. To many it looks like a step backwards. But if you look a bit closer, the pieces begin to fit together in a much more calculated way. This isn't just about changing uniforms or searching for a new opportunity. It's part of a bigger, much more strategic picture. While most people are focused on the team's track record, Sainz seems to be playing a smarter, longer game. Whispers from the Paddock point to something much larger: Porsche's potential move into Formula 1 under the upcoming 2026 regulations, and just around that rumor, another one is gaining traction, that Williams could be lining itself up with Porsche ahead of this major transition. Sainz stepping in now, just as these talks start to heat up, doesn't feel like coincidence. It feels more like timing crafted with purpose, and credit must go to James Vowles, the man leading Williams. He didn't just offer Sainz a racing seat, he offered a path, a possibility, a future where Sainz isn't just another name on the roster, but a key figure in rebuilding something great. The idea of Williams teaming up with a powerhouse like Porsche goes far beyond just engines. We're talking about tech, finances, influence, things that could shift the team's position on the grid entirely. This could be the piece Williams has been missing for years. Meanwhile, Sainz wasn't short on options. Audi had already shown strong interest, trying to lock him in for their 2026 debut. Last in the constructor standings wasn't exactly convincing. Sainz knew his best years couldn't be gambled away on a group still trying to get steady footing. Then, there were the usual names that always come up: Mercedes and Red Bull. Fans speculated endlessly, connecting dots that may not have even existed. But Sainz himself cleared the air during his conversation on the Beyond the Grid podcast. He explained that those teams had more than enough time, 6 months, to be exact, to express interest. And they didn't. That silence spoke volumes. So, when those doors quietly closed, what many saw as a surprising move to Williams became something else entirely. A bold signal that Sainz isn't waiting for approval from the top-tier teams. He's betting on something being built from the ground up. But this entire story stretches far beyond one driver's contract. It's tied to a much deeper plan forming inside the walls of Williams. A plan that might involve one of the most iconic names in automotive history. Rumors suggest that Porsche has reignited its push to enter Formula 1, especially after talks with Red Bull fell apart not long ago. And now, they're reportedly in conversations with Williams about a potential link-up for 2026. This isn't a fantasy. The sport's governing body, the FIA, has already confirmed that discussions about Porsche entering Formula 1 are happening behind the scenes. That alone has fueled speculation. Because if true, the timing would be perfect: new rules, new engines, and a clean slate. And if Porsche enters alongside Williams, the team could skip several painful rebuilding years and get a serious head start. But there's an interesting twist. Both Porsche and Audi belong to the same parent company, Volkswagen. That means two teams, two separate identities, but one umbrella organization. How do they make that work without stepping on each other's toes? That's where the strategy gets clever. Volkswagen's plan seems to use internal competition as fuel. Instead of choosing just one brand to represent them in Formula 1, they've allowed both Audi and Porsche to follow their own paths. Each will enter with a different structure and philosophy, even though they answer to the same corporate headquarters. And by keeping them separate, they can push each other to improve without breaking the sport's strict independence rules. Audi, for its part, is taking full control of its Formula 1 operation by acquiring a 75% stake in Sauber Motors. This move gives them total authority over both the car and the engine, allowing them to build a complete package that fits their exact goals. Audi has been very vocal about its focus on sustainability and cutting-edge engineering. Their entry into the sport lines up with their broader push to rebrand themselves as forward-thinking and eco-aware. To support this, Audi is investing heavily in infrastructure and bringing in new talent, clearly preparing for the long haul. The way they're approaching Formula 1 is very similar to what we saw in the early 2000s. When BMW worked closely with Sauber back then, the extra resources and expertise gave the team a real shot at competing with the best. Audi is now following that same model, trying to build a foundation strong enough to deliver results over several seasons, not just one. On the flip side, Porsche appears to be eyeing a different path, one that doesn't involve owning an entire team. Instead, they're more interested in becoming a power unit supplier. This would allow them to focus purely on what they've always done well, building world-class engines. And by partnering with an existing team, Porsche can avoid the complications that come with running everything on their own. Even though Porsche might not be aiming to run a full team, that doesn't mean their involvement would be limited. A power unit deal brings its own kind of influence. The team they partner with could gain access to top-tier technology, proven engineering talent, and a performance boost that might take them from the midfield to serious contenders. This is where Williams enters the picture again, not just as a candidate, but perhaps the only realistic one left, because let's face it, the list of potential partners is shrinking fast. Mercedes and Ferrari have always developed their own engines and aren't interested in outside help. Red Bull has its future locked down with its own in-house project. Aston Martin is already locked into its deal with Honda, and Audi's exclusive partnership with Sauber is fully underway. McLaren may have shown some flexibility, but their long-standing connection with Mercedes makes any sudden change unlikely. Alpine is preparing to deepen its ties with Mercedes that rules out yet another name. Haas remains loyal to Ferrari, while AlphaTauri, as Red Bull's sister team, is out of the running entirely, especially after previous talks with Porsche fell apart. All of that narrows the field to just one team with the right combination of availability, legacy, and ambition. And while they've had a tough time in recent years, they haven't disappeared. Their name still carries weight. Their fan base remains loyal. And under James Vowles, they've begun laying the groundwork for a proper revival. Porsche stepping in could be the push that turns those plans into something real. This partnership wouldn't just change Williams. It could reshape Porsche's path into Formula One as well. With no full team to manage, Porsche could focus all its energy on crafting an elite power unit, while Williams handles the chassis and trackside operations. Now think about what Porsche truly brings to the table. Beyond the name and reputation, it's their deep experience with hybrid power units and endurance racing that stands out. Over the years, they've developed technology that has dominated championships like the FIA World Endurance Series. That knowledge isn't just useful, it's exactly what Formula One will demand under the 2026 rules. With major changes coming to the engine formula, including a stronger focus on hybrid efficiency and sustainable fuel, Porsche's skill set fits perfectly. Their systems are known for combining reliability, energy recovery, and outright performance, all of which could provide Williams with a massive boost. And in Formula One, where margins are razor-thin, even small advantages can make a huge difference. But it's not just about what happens on the track. Financially, this kind of deal could completely change Williams' situation. Porsche's involvement could unlock funding for research and development, allow them to attract top-tier engineers, and upgrade facilities that have fallen behind over the years. A cash injection, paired with technical support, could quickly turn Williams from a struggling outfit into one of the most exciting teams to watch. And for Porsche, the rewards are just as clear. Entering the sport through a smart partnership gives them flexibility. They don't have to build a full team from scratch, but they still get their badge on the car, their engine on the grid, and their brand front and center in the world's most competitive racing series. Looking ahead to 2026, this could be the perfect time for both sides to rise together. It's a rare situation where the needs of two ambitious names in motorsport actually line up, and if it happens, it might not just be about making it to the grid. They might be aiming for something much bigger. Carlos Sainz's move to Williams might have looked puzzling at first glance. After all, why would a top-tier driver commit to a team that's been stuck near the bottom of the standings for years? But now, when you connect the dots, the potential Porsche connection, the 2026 regulation changes, and the renewed energy inside Williams, it starts to make sense. This wasn't a random gamble. It was a well-calculated decision with long-term potential. Ace didn't just choose a seat, he aligned himself with what could become one of Formula One's most interesting comeback stories. Williams, with its proud history, has been searching for the right spark to reignite its legacy, and if Porsche does move forward with them, that spark might finally turn into fire. From Porsche's side, entering the sport through Williams avoids the heavy lift of starting a brand new operation. Instead, they get a platform that's already built, just waiting for the right partner to lift it. This way, both parties benefit. Williams gets resources and cutting-edge powertrain expertise. Porsche gets a proven stage to showcase their capabilities in front of the world. In the end, this isn't just about one driver switching teams. It's about a shift that could reshape Formula One's competitive balance. It's about a traditional team trying to rise again, and a legendary automaker finding the right door into the sport. Together, Williams and Porsche might not just return to relevance, they could become contenders. So now the question remains, did Carlos Sainz make a bold move at just the right time? Or is this partnership still too uncertain to pay off? One thing's clear, 2026 is going to be one of the most anticipated seasons in years, and what happens next could change the direction of Formula One entirely.